그저 아름답게만 보일 수 있는 풍경이지만 올해에만 3,200명이 물에 빠져 죽었습니다. 굶주림과 탈수로 숨진 이만 415명. 이들은 바로 이주자입니다. 전 세계 곳곳에서 이 같은 이유들로 숨진 이주자는 5,000명이 넘습니다. 목숨 걸고 움직이는 이주자들. 이들과 함께하는 사람들을 만나봤습니다. 지난 주말 UN 국제이주기구 IOM의 활동가들이 서울에서 시민들과 만났습니다. 난민뿐 아니라 이민자와 귀환자 등 모든 이주자에 대한 인도적 지원을 벌이고 있는 IOM. 150명의 정중은 IOM 아프가니스탄의 로렌스 아트 소장, IOM 방글라데시의 프로젝트 매니저 페피 키비니메이 시디, 그리고 IOM 남수단의 프로젝트 운영 책임자 이조라 무티아 마스쿤이 들려주는 현장의 이야기에 귀를 기울였습니다. 군부의 박해로 최근 석 달 새 미얀마를 떠나 방글라데시로 향한 난민은 62만 3천 명. 하루 평균 7천 명 가까운 사람이 살해와 고문, 강간 등을 피해 삶의 터전을 떠났습니다.
비지디, 로딜레 후아이자 딜레 비지. 사티사티나.
राष्ट्रपति गुंजनेवारी आज बिन्नलो ते बान्नो दे हल्ला दुआ दुआ बाद दिल दुनिया में दुआ दुआ बाद दिल हल्ला दिल डालना.
방글라데시의 콕스바자르는 흔히 세계에서 가장 긴 천연 백사장으로 유명하지만 로힝야 난민에겐 유일한 쉼터인 난민 캠프가 있는 곳입니다. 로힝야 난민의 절반 이상은 여성입니다. 또 전체의 54%가 18세 이하의 청년 또는 아동입니다. 식량뿐 아니라 의료나 교육 지원도 절실한 이유입니다. IOM 방글라데시의 프로젝트 매니저 페피는 식량 지원을 필요로 하는 97만 명 중 지원을 받는 이는 63만 명가량이라고 설명했습니다. 전체 3분의 1이 지원을 받지 못하는 것입니다.
আমি মোটরসাইকেল ঢুকে যখন টেকনাফ যাচ্ছি বিচ এরিয়া দিয়ে তখন ওদেরকে একটা জায়গায় বসে থাকতে দেখি এরপর দেখি যে ছোট ছোট দুটো বাচ্চা আছে একদমই আমার খুব মায়া হয় তখন আমি আর ওইটা চালাতে পারিনি ওদেরকে ওদিকে যেতে পারিনি ওদেরকে নিয়ে বাসায় রাখছি ক্লথ ছিল না এক সেন্টেল ছিল বাট অ্যালং ওরা একাই ছিল ওদের সঙ্গে কিছু ছিল না একটা বাসন বাচ্চাগুলো পানির জন্য কাতরাচ্ছে ওয়াটার পানিও খাওয়া ছিল না ওদের
의료나 교육 분야는 그 비율이 더욱 떨어집니다. 의료 및 보건 서비스가 필요한 116만 7천 명 중 53만 명만이 서비스를 제공받습니다. 교육이 필요한 아동은 45만 명에 달하지만 교육을 받을 수 있는 아동은 4만 5천 명에 불과합니다. 군부의 총을 피해 목숨을 걸고 국경을 넘었지만 살아남기 위한 투쟁은 끝나지 않은 겁니다.
Moving. I mean, it's you want to help everybody, but in many cases you can't get there in time, or even a person that you've assisted with healthcare still dies. There are diseases, there's diarrhea epidemics, and those also haunt you. You remember them, and then you want to do things differently to change that the next time. The boy that is in the video with the arm chopped off. So I just before I came here, I had already chosen the video, and I talked to the videographer who had taken it, and he said that the boy actually didn't make it in the end. The infection was too high, and so we couldn't. But I mean, that's also
a reality
that we do.
방글라데시 콕스바자르의 난민 캠프에서 머물고 있는 로힝야 난민은 84만 명가량. 최근 방글라데시와 미얀마가 난민 송환을 위한 양해각서를 체결했지만 이들이 고향 땅을 다시 밟을 수 있을지는 미지수입니다. 송환을 위해선 정부가 발행한 신분증 등 문서를 소지해야 합니다. 하지만 미얀마 정부가 이들의 국적을 인정하지 않아 로힝야 난민 중 시민권을 갖고 있는 사람은 단 한 사람도 없습니다. 그나마 그나마 거주 사실이라도 증명해야 돌아갈 수 있는데 정부군이 땅과 재산을 빼앗고 집을 불태워 이마저도 쉽지 않습니다. 유엔은 이 같은 미얀마군의 행위를 인종 청소의 교과서적 사례라고도 규탄했습니다. 살기 위해 집을 떠난 이주자들. 이들은 그 집으로 다시 돌아가 행복해질 수 있길 바라고 있습니다.
These days, the world, especially with globalization, with social media and all that, the world is a small place. So even if you look at South Sudan, which is half the world away from Korea, issues that happens in one country impacts others in terms of humanity as well. What assistance we can provide to others, because you never know when we might need assistance. I think in the case of South Korea, you're a developed country, you're quite advanced, but with climate change and everything these days, you never know when you might need assistance from others as well.
Libya, for example, when it was time for some African migrants who were stranded in detention centers and nobody was looking after them, and we offered them an opportunity to return back with reintegration, and seeing these people just coming and saying thank you for saving my life is very powerful. I mean, it might sound corny, but it is powerful, because you actually arrive to a point at the end of the day where I said, well, I did something to change even one person's life, and that is extremely motivating. Then it can be, of course, in Afghanistan with the smile of people, the children that are happy to, that we are providing some assistance. But I just retrieved this gentleman here. He's from one of the communities of where we built the resilience of. You see, he's very old and he's very proud. So, but he was extremely, how can I say, extremely grateful. He didn't have anything to offer, but he was so grateful that we helped his community to build their resilience with that kind of Gabion wall. And he just came with the only product they had, apples. So they couldn't offer anything in return. And to me that's very powerful, because whatever they had, they just shared it. And that's a powerful motivation.
It's really humbling as well.
Yeah.
These are communities affected, they're in disasters. They have very little, but whatever assistance you can provide, they're like, come and share our meal.
Yeah.
They have very little, but they were like, close to nothing. They're like, no. We want to share this with you because you're here to help us. Let us at least give you something.